decided to shoot a collection update video. Been very busy at work lately, and I know a couple of people's asked me where the videos are. So that's what's happened. So anyway, decided to shoot a collection update video to get back into the swing of things. Got a number of things to show you. Looks like about 6 records and a shitload of CDs. So hope you all enjoy. I still plan on making the 1,000 subscriber contest video. Keep on putting it off, but it's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Of it, the collection updates, black metal, some thrash metal, death metal. So this This is becoming one of my favorite black metal bands. This is Summon, and this is Dark Descent of Fallen Souls, released in 1997. Summon is one of those Michigan black metal bands. It's a U.S. black metal band, part of the scene with Lucifer's Hammer and Masochist and bands like that. This album is phenomenal, phenomenal debut. I love this album. Shit. Enter Into Eternal Oath is the name of that track. Or, no, actually, that was the title track. Take that back. This is the one I just previously said, but opening the video is Dark Descent of Fallen Souls. Anyway, I will put description or a link in the description below. Definitely check this bad boy out. This is freaking absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal freaking black metal with a little blackened tinge, some thrash. Love the synth work. Hear it. The album has an intro. It kind of has a dungeon synth kind of vibe to it. So definitely check that one out if you don't know it. So I think I'll just go through some CDs, go through some vinyl. Brandon Dement sent me this Beherit, The Oath of Black Blood, which is finished death metal, released in '91. This is 2 demos put together that was released without their consent back in the day. I can't remember the name of the 2 demos. There's a CD. It's on Turbo. I wonder if this is the record label that did that. It's on a single sheet here. So Brandon, thank you very much for sending me this. It's a dark piece of work, dark blackened finish metal, and I love that. I love that artwork right there. It goes right there with along the lines of Blasphemy, Fallen Angel of Doom. I think these 2 albums played together, one right after the other, is just a perfect combo. So definitely look this one up if you don't know it, but if you do, this is the shit. Next one, I'll just keep on going through some of the CDs. Me and my buddy from across town, actually we just traded 2, I'll get that other one out. Traded a couple of things, and this is one I walked away with from the trade, and this is Diane Fetus, of course, War of Attrition. I've been becoming a huge Diane Fetus fan, and this album just blew me away. This is freaking phenomenal. I think this is my 4th one. I'm still gonna pick up more. Diane Fetus is just one of those bands that has a little bit of the brutal death metal, a lot of it actually, some technicality. So what I like about this album, I'll have a slammy moment, a brutal death moment, and do some kind of technical trill, I guess you would say, or guitarist and the bass player do some kind of run that's just freaking phenomenal, some arpeggios. But I love the groove of this album. I love the political kind of standpoint from this album. It's really political. So, absolutely phenomenal album. I've just been really getting into this band and loving every minute of it. So, thank you, Mike George, for that trade. Diane Fetus, War of Attrition. And the second one he traded was this one right here, which is Drawn and Quartered. I believe this is their 2021 release. I want to say this band's from Seattle. It's very brutal death metal. This one's like atmospheric brutal death metal is the best way to describe it. It has kind of that incantation kind of vibe, a little immolation. Actually, in fact, the vocals kind of reminds me of Chuck Pillard a little bit from Incantation's early work. This is a nice 3-piece and just phenomenal. There was a couple tracks on this that I had to rewind and listen to it again because it kind of has a doomy guitar riff, but the drummer is just going to town with some double bass work and some blast beats. And I think that doomy stuff and the little single notes and strums they're doing with that really deep guttural vocal in the background makes this thing freaking unique and outstanding. Absolutely love this artwork. CD looks wicked as fuck. Don't see many people show this one. Picking more of their stuff up. I'm very impressed with this album. Look at this artwork. That's some badass artwork. When I looked this album up, I love that iris right there. A purple iris with the Grim Reaper in the middle. It's pretty freaking sick. Something I'd like to pick up on wax is this one. Just for the artwork. But definitely check this one out if you don't know it. Drawn and Quartered. And for the life of me, I cannot see. I forgot the name of it, that album. Oh, man. Looks like Pestilence. Regurgitation Pestilence, maybe? Could be wrong on that. Don't quote me, but this is badass shit. Definitely look it up. Let's show some vinyl records. Very, very stoked to find this. Now, of course, it's a reissue, but my freaking word. This is some crossover thrash right here. It is brutal as fuck. It's kind of like Creator, Pleasure to Kill, if it was a crossover thrash album. That's the best way to describe it. This is Annihilation at its finest. Band's called Vera Mott. I know it starts with a W, but in German that's a V. Wehrmacht means German Allied Forces, I believe. If I remember the translation, it goes back to the World War II, so that's what Wehrmacht means. Name of the album is Shark Attack. Opens up with the Jaws theme, and then it goes into complete annihilation. I think the band is from Oregon, which is really strange, having, of course, 1987. But as we all know, the political realm in Oregon, they probably wouldn't stand for a band named after German Unified Army, or whatever you want to call it, bands. But Wehrmacht, I think Wehrmacht. Can't fucking pronounce it like I used to. Badass shit. So this one has a bonus track called Concrete Beat. And that fucking song, I love it. Jabberjaw, that song is killer. Shark Attack, opening track, blow you away. There's an intro called Puke, where it looks like they strapped a mic to a guy puking for about 20 minutes, it seems like. Part 2 of Night of Sam Hain is killer. But the double bass work in this is freaking ferocious for 1987. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite crossover thrash metal albums. I believe this one's just on wax. It's on wax, on black. And it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal album. I listened to it about 15 times going to work. I ripped it on my USB card. I can rip vinyl. And this is the one I listen to go to work. And phenomenal stuff. I'll show you one more record. Another Thrasher piece. Finally got a copy of this. I've had a copy in the past of this album, and of course, same story. Now in my hands, I have the reissue, which is music on vinyl reissue. So it's pretty close to what the original looked like when it was released on Roadrunner. Love the artwork to this one. This is Whiplash's Power and Pain. And I can tell you, if I had this album when I was making my top 10 thrash metal albums, this would probably be number 1. Oh, and it's that fucking good. This one is aggressive as fuck. The guitars are insane. The vocals are freaking phenomenal. Everything about this album is just awesome. I love the opening track, Stage Dive. That tremolo picking he's doing at the beginning of it before he hits some power chords, it's just a vicious attack. Red Bomb is awesome. Message of Blood, I love that track. Power Thrashing Death. Spit on Your Grave. And my favorite song on this album is called Nailed to the Cross. It's a freaking phenomenal album. Definitely one you should check out if you don't know it. If you're looking for some more thrash you don't know. This is on Silver. Fucking awesome album. Whiplash, Power and Pain. Look at that artwork. I just love artwork like this. This is fantastic. It's that keyboard. Love it. Let's keep on going. Let's do a CD. Yeah, not Whiplash. This is Living Sacrifice, a band out of Little Rock, Arkansas. It's a Christian thrash metal band that later went into more of a groove style. I believe there's one album that's kind of death metal-y. My favorite album by this band is the self-titled, which is this one, released in '91. But they had one other album that has a lot of cool freaking drum and percussion work on it. I think it was called The Hammering Process, which has a song called The Hand of the Dead, which is my favorite song by this band. But this one, I think my favorite track on this one would be Second to Death. It's a 9-minute long track. Kind of reminds me of a mix of maybe like Seasons in the Abyss, Slayer album, that era, and maybe a little bit of Sepultura. I'd say probably Beneath the Remains era Sepultura. So this is phenomenal Christian thrash. This is a reissue. I just happened to stumble on it at the record shop one day. I don't have the original CD, and I think the original CD, if you got it, shows the full Bloom on the Mushroom Cloud there. But just this is phenomenal. The drums on this is insanely good. I love how they recorded it. The guitars still have that kind of Slayer sound. The vocals kind of remind me of almost crossover thrash shout but a deeper crossover thrash out, I guess is the best way. But you're the dudes. I remember seeing these guys when they come through town decades ago, and they just tore it up. Like just a high energy, high octane thrash metal band. Living Sacrifice, their debut. Definitely, if you don't know this, look this fucker up. Let's throw another CD in there. Bought this the same day I found that one. This one was actually used. This is Cannibal Corpse Visceration Plague. So I'm only missing 2 Cannibal Corpse albums now. I forgot what year this was released. I think 2008, if I remember. Could be wrong on that. But this is absolutely punishing death metal. Brutal death metal at that. My favorite tracks on this is Priest of Sodom. Of course, the title track, Visceration Plague. I love that really heavy groove, that pull off they do on that. I think that's just gorgeous. There's so many good tracks on this, but it was so cool to find this out in the wild. I've literally picked this up for like $3.99, which is a steal in my opinion, because I feel like this album's a very hard album to find, because I've been looking for it forever. But Cannibal Corpse, Visceration Plague. Yes. Another record. This is gonna be a long ass video, so hang on tight. Yeah, there's some thrash. I was so stoked to see this in the record store, even though it's a reissue. I absolutely don't give 2 shits about OGs. They're nice, but I mean, they're nice to have. I'll say that. But I love this album. This is Destructor Maximum Destruction. I love how that little nod to the band over there in Germany, the Teutonic thrash band Destruction. And this album, I've listened to it several times. I freaking love this son of a bitch. I need to show this because I always take my 7-inches. This came out with a bonus 7-inch on it. It has Bring Down the Hammers and Black Knight, which I actually haven't listened to it yet. But I love thrash metal like this. I have a soft spot for the thrash bands that kind of went under the radar. This is one of those 3rd-tier thrash bands from Cleveland, Ohio. I want to say this was released in '87. Don't see it, but I'm pretty sure it was. But the vocalist on this is freaking phenomenal. I love the vocals on this record. Guitars are very, very raw and primitive. Simple riffing, but really cool and gets the point. The drums are freaking killer. Love that artwork. My favorite track on this is Iron Curtain, which I'm a big bass fan, and I know that sound when I heard the bass intro to Iron Curtain. I know that's a Rickenbacker. I just love that tone, that sound, that little quiet distortion that just doesn't overpower, but you hear the bass notes. Phenomenal shit. Destructor, I guess title track, or the band name, Maximum Destruction. I keep on wanting to say Maximum Overdrive, but look at that artwork. I fucking love that. Amazing. This one comes with a poster. It's just the artwork. Man, this album. This is some badass thrash. Some of the best. It's on this red. But definitely look up Destructor if you do not know it. It is an absolute freaking hidden gem. One of the best. I think I've only seen a couple people show this album. I wish I still had my original cassette. That would have been phenomenal. It's OG press, actually. Like I said, don't know why this won't go in there. There's no reason why it shouldn't. There you go. Destructor, Maximum Destruction, released in '87. Don't see it nowhere. Phenomenal. I'll just show you another record. I was really stoked to find this one. It's part of the reissues. This one, it's called WFO, which stands for Wide Fucking Open. Thrash metal album, released in '94. I think right after I Hear Black. So it was a change back in the right direction, even though I fucking love I Hear Black. This is more of a thrash album than that one is. My favorite tracks on this is What's Your Problem? I really dig that one. Supersonic Hate, Up to Zero is a good one. Fast Junkie. This is phenomenal. I love it. I love this album. But anyway, I love these reissues they came out with. I think I'm only missing a couple Overkill albums. Comes on this Smoky Clear. But I love it. This is a great album. Actually, I'm going to listen to this one after this video. So, hope you guys love what I'm showing so far. Let's show another freaking CD. Yes. Okay, so I've only had this on dub cassette. This is Cradle of Filth, Dusk in Her Embrace, released in '96. This is a Music for Nations, and I think it's OG. So, this album, Cradle of Filth, is one of those bands that some people frown at. Some people seem to be like they're embarrassed to show a Cradle of Filth album, which makes no sense to me. Maybe because all the gothic shit they put in it, but to me the gothic shit is what makes it. I really like the black metal and the death metal vibe this one has. This is probably my favorite Cradle of Filth album, definitely. And something about it, it just, that intro, human inspired to nightmare, sets the mood, and then you hear, it sounds like something's getting ripped across the sky before Heaven Torn Asunder kicks on, and that's one of my favorite tracks on this. But my absolutely favorite track on this is Beauty Slept in Sodom, and I think it kicks off with this cool freaking harpsichord intro. I love anytime a black metal band or death metal, any band that puts a harpsichord in their music has got my attention. And phenomenal stuff. This is a phenomenal black metal album. Awesome shit. And I love Danny's death growls in this one. I love the female vocals. I think that's a nice touch when they put those in there. And phenomenal stuff. Just a phenomenal album. Next one up. So finally, I used to have this on CD from back when it was originally released, but the CD had a big scratch on it over time, and so I just hadn't listened to it in years. Sinister, some people may know by watching my videos that Diabolical Summoning, the album that was released before this, is in my top 10 favorite death metal albums of all time. And this is no different. This is a this is a Dutch thrash or death metal band, getting straight. I think this album was released in '95. This is in a super jewel case on Cosmic Key Records. Phenomenal stuff. This one is more sinister than all the first two albums, Cross the Sticks and Diabolical Summoning. What I really like about this album, kind of seems like it took a little bit of Cross the Sticks and a little bit of the sophomore album and just kind of meshed them together and made a more sinister sounding death metal album. This one has a really raw kind of sound to the guitars. The vocals are freaking brutal as fuck. Outstanding death metal right here. Sinister Hate. Killer. Actually getting through this. I should have showed this one with that, so. Oh well. I couldn't help it. Some of you may know, but lately Cattle Decapitation is becoming one of my favorite modern death metal bands. And I know there's some of the hardcore people that think their music's better than others. I think this is more melodic album. You know who you are. It's okay to have your opinions. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But this, I fucking love it. I think this is a great fucking album. This is Cattle Decapitation's Terracite, released this year. And what I really like about it is those goblin vocals. I love that. The death vocals are perfect. Then he hits those goblin vocals. This makes it wide open and interesting. The drumming on this is insanely fucking good. The rolls he does blow me away. The guitar work in this is phenomenal. I like some of the dissonant guitar and they put in it. Some of the chords he strums out while the bass and the other rhythm guitar and the drums are freaking going to town. Freaking sound phenomenal. I like the bass drop in a couple of the tracks. I think that's a nice touch. My favorite track on this one, what is it? Just Another Body. I think that song's like 13 minutes long. Love the synth work in it. I think that's phenomenal. Cool shit. This is a cool fucking album. I really dig this one. And I think I'm up to about 3 Cattle Decapitation albums now. I got my first one in a trade. This is on Flesh Peach. In a trade not too long ago, which was Humanure. And that album gets regular spins. I think it's phenomenal. Cattle Decapitation's Terracite. What a phenomenal, badass fucking record. And then when I was at the used bin looking through, I seen this first because he had it sitting in there with all the stacks of CDs, and I was drumming through and I saw and I thought it said Decapitation. And then when I picked it up, I realized it's another Cattle Decapitation. This is actually their EP released in '99, Human Jerky. And what this album really reminds me of is kind of like Carcass Putrefaction a lot, but with a little bit better mix, I guess. Songs are real short. Really like the riffs in this. Love the vocals in this. Of course, that's looks like flesh and a cattle head. I think this band is against eating meat, and I think Carcass is too. They're vegetarian. I kind of wonder if there's nothing really to it, but I wonder if grindcore bands, knowing this is grindcore to its finest, are all vegetarians, because it seems like that's the vibe I get. But anyway, Cattle Decapitation, fucking phenomenal album, just absolutely phenomenal. Well, actually it's an EP or a mini album. And then the last one, Fumes of Hatred showed this, and then realized watching his video, realized that they reissued this. This is a masterpiece in my opinion, because I really like anything with orchestra music in it. This has got some cool orchestra. I can't remember what novel or who wrote the novel that this is based on, but basically, in a gist, if you look at this is Adam. Damnation in a Day. It's all about the fall of man. My favorite tracks on this is An Enemy Led the Tempest. I like that one a lot. Better Rain in Hell, Serpent Tongue, Doberman Pharaoh was badass. Babylon AD, I really dig that one too. And Mannequin, that's really cool. Really cool album. I have to be in a mood to listen to this one, to be honest with you, but when I am in the mood, I get lost in it. I think that's what it is. It's a long album, and there's a kind of depiction of Adam and Eve, and somewhere is a serpent. I know it is, but a genius album. Really, it's a concept album. I think this is a depiction of Lilith. In case anybody doesn't know who Lilith is Lilith is the first woman, but she got banished from Eden. So, as the story goes, God put Adam in a deep sleep and cloned Eve from his rib. And then the serpent actually is, a lot of people think it's Satan, is actually Lilith. So anyway, that's a Bible study for you, so go fuck off. That's what this album's about. Damnation of the Day by Crown of the Fall. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this collection update. This was a long one. What I like about collection updates is that I can show these in another video sometime, and most people don't make it this far, don't watch the whole thing. Some of you do, but not all of you, and that's fine. So I can put some other video together, maybe do a thrash metal third tier something here soon, or I don't know, we'll figure it out.